my Aunt Bissy, their mother. And this is Agnes Ann, not Aggie. She's Agnes Ann. Can't you hear?
Yes.
Agnes Ann. Emphasis on that. I know all their names. I don't know their birth dates. I couldn't tell you that, but I know their names and where they got their names, who they were named for, and lots of funny stories about them growing up. And I taught these girls to write their names. I taught them their alphabet. I taught them their colors. I taught them their numbers. I was a school teacher on the front porch to entertain them all summer long. You've heard them speak of Jeff in loving terms and not so loving terms. And I could never understand why Jeff couldn't do the same things they could do, but they were older than Jeff. And I just couldn't figure that out for a long time. But we had a good time growing up. We had fun. I stayed with them a lot. All through high school and some in college. When I had a job in the summer, I stayed there and would walk down Carroll Avenue and catch the bus over to Petersburg and catch the bus back in the afternoon, and it was just my home away from home for years and years. So I just love these girls and their brothers and their sisters a whole bunch, and all their children. And Dabney worked with their dad for a while, so he has some Tom Sweeney stories. So,
but Agnes has told me I can't tell him.
So if Michael and Emily ever want some unobjective stories,
Never from me. He was a nice man.
About Tom Sweeney, well, just tell them about sewing up the.
Oh, the one, I went to work at the Federal Reformatory, and he was in the pharmacy there, working at the Reformatory. And on about day 2 I was there was a little fight on the yard, and a couple of guys got beat up. They beat each other up. The guards didn't hurt them, the prisoners hurt themselves. And one kid was cut severely up here, so I got to visit in the pharmacy while he was being worked on by their dad. And he told the convict that you shouldn't use any painkiller when you were sewing up cuts on your face because it would make it swell and you'd get a bigger scar. So he told the guy he was going to sew him up without giving him a shot, and he said, okay. And here's this prisoner standing there like his sweat running off him as he sewed him up with no anesthesia. So I thought that was kind of a nice thing. He wasn't doing it to me, you know.
That was him.
That's it, no more stories.
And you know, their mama was a nurse. And the funny thing was, she was called on for all kinds of family traumas. It was her job to resolve the issues and to take care of them. But I can well remember she had a hard time taking care of her own children when they got hurt. She would faint. She would throw up if they were sick. She had a really hard time dealing with her children being sick. But she had to come and be in the hospital when my sister and I had our tonsils out, because Mama couldn't handle it without her big sister there. And she was the big sister, and she had 2 sisters and 2 brothers, and she was the focal point of the family. They went to her with everything. I don't know how her shoulders were broad enough to take it, but they took all their trials and triumphs to the bowling alley. And laid them at their sister's feet, and she would resolve all their issues for them. So they come from good genes. They're good girls, and I wish just the best for Aggie and Don. I know they're going to have fun. I know they're going to have a good life, and we have a place for you to stay in Chester when you come through Virginia. And we'll kick the grandchildren out if they're there, and y'all can have the room.